Good afternoon. Welcome to Mike and the Hoss on Wolfeboro Community Television. I'm Mike Danais.
And I'm Charlie Hossack.
Charlie, I'm calling today catch-up day.
Okay.
We have three different coaches coming in for Kingswood Sports, for fall sports, for that preview, even though some of the seasons have started. Mm-hmm. And there's been so much happening. Mm-hmm. The NFL season got on their way.
Yep.
Red Sox are finally done.
We can say goodbye to the Red Sox.
Yes, we're going to say today's the final goodbye, right?
This is the final goodbye.
Okay, because there's a lot of football to talk about.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of Kingswood sports to talk about. Mm-hmm. I think we're going to struggle getting this one in a half hour, I think
so.
All right, so let's get started. We'll be right back with some of the Kingswood coaches. Welcome back to Mike and the Hoss. Charlie, as promised, we have some of the coaches, and we're fortunate enough to have Dan Place, the girls' cross-country coach, and Mick Arsenault, the boys' cross-country coach. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So, one of the things that we do with these preview shows is just to kind of educate everybody about your programs and what's involved with it. And I have my questions, but I'm going to start with training. What does a typical cross-country practice look like?
You want to take that one?
Okay, I'm going to take that one. Well, I, in general, deal with all the training. I set up everything for the entire season and break it down by blocks. So in the beginning of the summer, we're looking at just adding mileage to build your base up, and then we'll add in strength training, be it the weight room, hill work, tempo training, as we get later into the season. And as we get further into the season, we'll start doing speed work to fine-tune everybody's muscles and get them going in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. And assume the girls, the same type of thing.
Yeah,
with the
we
girls?
practice together every day. We do the same workouts.
I should have asked background. Mick, I know that you are a very big runner as far as you ran in the marathon.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, I've run, countless marathons and ultra races and things like that for a long time.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Dan?
I came into running later in life. I'm a basketball guy by background, and as soon as you can't play that game anymore, you had to have something else to do. So I turned into running, and I've really enjoyed it.
That's good.
It's pretty good.
Tell us a little bit about an actual race. Like, how long is the race? How long does it typically take, the top athletes to finish?
Yeah.
So the races they're 5Ks,
Okay.
so 3.1 miles.
Mm-hmm.
I think the boys' record at the Great Glen course we just ran last week was they set a record 16:04.
Wow.
And
I get that's good.
that's
Yeah.
That seems fast.
That's very fast.
Very
We got that.
Yeah, right.
Very
Yeah, that's very fast.
Yeah. I think the girls' race was 19:03.
Yeah, that was the first.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was first place finisher. So
Wow.
it ranges
She
from
was
there
a
till
freshman.
Of course.
28, 30 minutes.
So, who are your runners? Who are the stars on the cross country team, boys and girls? Who are we banking on bringing home the title?
I'd say just to give them the top 7 for
Okay.
each.
Yeah,
for
the,
each.
Sure.
the varsity girls were Rosemary and Sarah Carpenter,
Mm-hmm.
Liz Morrison, Carolyn Day, Lily Stinchfield, and Annabelle Nelson. At the last race, actually, Rosemary Carpenter ran faster this year than Sarah Huckman did at the same race last year.
Oh, wow.
That was great.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
it surprised her. I didn't think she would be that fast,
Wow.
and it was really exciting to see that.
Yep.
And how about the boys?
On the boys' side, we have, we had Joseph Wasson, Casey Arsenault, Oleg Sheehan. Can I see your list there?
Yeah. Matt Perkins.
Matt Perkins, Lou Arenello, and Mark Snard did really well.
Mark Stannard.
And let's see, Tim Huckman. I
Nice.
think that was our 7.
And Lou was new to cross country.
Lou
right?
is new this
Came
year.
over from
yeah.
soccer.
Yeah, he's a transplant from soccer, and he's really enjoying it.
That's great.
And we're glad to have him. He's a super good kid. We have some young talent. Joseph Wasson came in first for our boys with a time of 18:20 and broke his PR, which is a personal record, by like at least 25 seconds at a very hard race for the first meet of the season. So
That's great. Casey Arsenault got a personal record.
yeah, he's never run a 5K in competition before, and he finished just under 19 minutes, which is second for the team. So he
That's
surprised
great.
himself as well.
How do you score? Obviously, I know it's a team sport. It's also individual, but how does it score? So how does Kingswood win a meet?
So you run your top 7 kids for the varsity race, and you can score your top 5.
Okay.
Okay, and then the number placed that you get, say first, second, third, fourth, fifth, those numbers are all added up, and the lowest score for each team wins.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're truly going against the other team. It's not a matter of time or anything like that. You just have to beat the other team.
Yes, lowest points.
That makes it easier.
Yeah.
It's like golf, actually. It's
Yeah,
similar to how they score golf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. All right, predictions. I'm going to put the spot on the spot here.
Why don't you
What are we looking at this year?
What about
So-
the girls?
I think we want to be mid-pack or better, I think, in all our races, I think is a good goal. We were 4th out of 9 up at Great Glen. So really happy with that. It shows improvement from last year. I think mixed training programs really showing that it's working. Our girls are more grouped into an area this year. We're a little bit faster than we were last year, and we have more girls in that top, which helps us score as a team.
Right.
So if we can be top half or better every race, I think that's good.
That's great.
How about the boys?
I don't know. We're fast right now, but we're fast really earlier in the season, so I'm kind of curious on how that's going to play out. I think they're going to do really well. We finished 8th out of 12, I believe it was, up at Great Glen, but they had some great runners up there. They had some of the top kids in New England, Arata Keene and Nashua North and Pinkerton, and they were all up there. So it was a tough race. So I think we'll do well. We'll see where we land when we get to Manchester, though.
Right.
Yeah.
That leads me actually to my next question is, who are the juggernauts in the state as far as running goes? Cross country, who's the teams to beat that?
Yeah, it's up in the air. I mean, as far as boys and girls, Co-Brown's good. They're always good. Oyster River's always good. As far as our divisions go, that's who we look forward to running with those guys, because their JV kids are in the 17-minute range, that's saying
Wow.
something,
Wow.
They have Co-Brown has a freshman, Aiden Cox, who ran the 5K world record when he was like 8, 9, and 10 years old, and as a freshman he's running in the 17s.
Wow.
So they're impressive. And girls,
Merrimack Valley has 2 of the probably top runners in the state.
yeah.
They were 1 and 2 at the Great Glen race, and by a minute and a
Yeah,
half.
as a freshman
Wow.
and a sophomore.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Wow.
Now, have we had Kingswood athletes that have gone on to the next level? Any college cross-country runners?
yes, a few of the boys. Brent Coop's running for Plymouth this year. He ran for us last year. Was our top boy. I think Jim Huckman's running up there as well.
Sarah Huckman's running.
I think Sarah's running for
I forget.
UNH.
Great.
And some of the other ones, Cam Stinchfield at Keene, they're doing really well.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome. Anything else, Charlie?
I don't think so.
All right, guys, thank you. Best of luck. We have a tradition that if you guys make the playoffs or win a state title, we welcome you back on the show.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So
Well, we look forward to
we're
it.
putting it
Yeah.
out there. Hopefully, we're going to see you in a few weeks.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
absolutely.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Mike and the Hoss on Wolfeboro Community Television. Charlie, we're working with a lot of the Kingswood sports right now. We've talked cross country. We're going to be talking to soccer. But let's recap some of the stuff that's happened. We did the football game on Friday night.
We did. That was fun. We headed out to Conval.
Yep,
We saw a great game.
it was a very good game. It could have gone both ways.
Yep.
It could have gone either way. Maybe a bounce here and a bounce there. A couple unfortunate injuries for the Knights that certainly derailed their offense a little bit.
Yeah.
It was a good showing. I think we said that was almost a must-win for them, though, based on who they've been playing or who they're going to play this week.
Definitely, yeah. This week's going to be really challenging against Bow. Bow's one of the top teams in Division Two, so it's going to be quite a challenge for the Knights. It looks like I spoke with Coach Landry the other day, and a lot of those guys that are injured are now healthy. So,
Okay.
although there are some injuries, he's going in with a healthy crew.
They have Bow this week. Bow's one of the top teams in Division Two.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a really tall task for the Knights to compete with Bow.
It is.
I don't know are they ready for that with their numbers and.
Yeah, I think from a football former player perspective and coach perspective, you're ready for anything.
Yes.
So, I think the boys are ready to go. The coaches are ready to go. I think, like you said, it's just going to be a really big challenge. And I think not looking at wins and losses, are they going to be able to move the ball and have those small successes against a team that's probably going to be competing for the championship? I think that's kind of how you have to take it. So small victories.
So one play at a time.
Well, one play at a time. Whether it's a first down, whether it's a big play,
Yeah.
Whether it's a stop on defense, those are the things you can celebrate.
Okay. Quickly, boys soccer. How is the boys soccer team? They played once.
So yeah, they've played once since our last show, and they played Pembroke, which is an exceptional team, very good team. They ended up losing 2-1, but it was quite a game, very physical. Kingswood played the best soccer that I've seen them play, the boys,
Good.
all season, and you could see significant improvements. Coach Nelson and his staff are obviously doing a good job because the boys are getting better with each game.
That's awesome. They have anything this week? I don't remember.
They travel tomorrow to Kearsarge,
Okay.
and then they're home Saturday
On
night.
Saturday, we talked
Yeah.
about that, and this week in Wolfeboro. We're going to talk to the girls coach, so hold off on that.
Sure.
Field hockey team, I know the field hockey team lost a game against Kennett.
Yeah.
1-0, I believe that was. So the field hockey team is still waiting to get on in the win column.
Sure.
But Coach Riley, we haven't had a chance to talk to Coach Riley.
Right.
She always gets her girls in the win column. So,
Absolutely.
I don't see any difference.
Volleyball. I had a chance to talk with Coach Place, Coach
Yep.
Lynette Place.
They're
and,
away today. That's why they couldn't
They're
get
away.
on.
She couldn't be here, but they got a win the other night.
Oh, wow.
So they're 1-0
Okay.
volleyball. So hoping for the best for them. She's excited about the season, and I know she'll be coming on our show to talk about the team.
She will. All right. Let's jump off of Kingswood Sports. Are we missing anything? The golf team.
Yeah,
the golf.
golf, you
The
got
golf.
that.
The golf did have one match last week. They got rained out. Another one. They finished third up at Kennett. They're playing today as we speak. They're at home. They're at home all week this week. Actually, they're young. The golf
Yeah.
team is very young. They play a freshman, a couple sophomores, and a couple juniors.
Okay.
And those are the guys that are scoring for them. So.
That's good.
I know Coach Fuller is optimistic about the future, but he's also optimistic about this year. He thinks they can do something. He thinks there's some talent there.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll have to get Coach Fuller in too.
Yeah, that'll be exciting to watch.
A lot of fall sports. We have to.
We do.
We have to have a special fall sports segment.
We should do that.
All right. I want to talk about Patriots.
No. We have to put one team to rest.
All right.
Like, say goodbye.
We're going to say goodbye to the Red Sox.
We are going to say goodbye to the Red Sox. They lost 3 of 4 to the Yankees. They fired Dombrowski.
in the middle of the night.
Yeah, and then, of course,
Yep.
when we were all sleeping.
Yep.
So he is gone, and then now we're just kind of, I guess we just need to wait to see what's going to happen with Mookie Betts and JBJ and JD.
So, looking back, Dombrowski's been there for 3 years, I believe. Right? I think this was his third year, and
Helped the team win a championship.
he did the job that he was told to do to
Right.
come in and win a championship. Now my question for you was it worth it?
Yeah.
Of course it's worth it. You
win a championship, it's worth it,
The
yeah.
problem with Boston sports, we won so many in the past 15, 20 years
Right.
but he's left the Red Sox in a very, very tenuous
Yeah,
place.
they're depleted.
Completely.
Yeah.
And with high payroll,
Yeah.
their 2 pitchers at the top of the payroll that each make $30 million can't pitch.
Mm-hmm.
They're injured.
Yeah.
One doesn't want to pitch, the other one can't pitch.
Right.
They have arguably one of the best players in the league
Mm-hmm.
in Mookie Betts, who they can afford to keep, but then again, they can't afford to keep him because their payroll is so high as it is.
Right.
They don't have a bullpen that is, you name me 3 guys in the bullpen. It's pretty difficult. What do they have going for them right now? What do the Red Sox have going for them as they move
Rafael
forward?
Devers, they have him.
Thank you.
Yep.
Rafael Devers.
Xander Bogaerts.
Yes, they do.
Christian Vasquez. He's had a decent season.
He's cooled off a lot this
Yeah.
year. He's cooled off.
He had a
a lot.
hot start, but
But for the money for a catcher,
Yeah.
a year batting 260, he's not a big money guy. Still defensively, he's still very good defensively.
absolutely.
What else?
I'm struggling. If JD decides to come back, but that's on his terms.
There's for a team that has a $240 million payroll that just won the World Series.
Right.
They have an incredible amount of holes,
They do.
and so I think that we're going to spend a lot of time in the offseason talking about the Red Sox. I'm with you. I'm curious on who they're going to pick up for general manager. I heard that the assistant general manager, Eddie Romero, is interested in. Well, he's actually filling the role in now.
Right.
And he is a minor league guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's his responsibility, which
It's going to be important because there's no one in the minors.
there's no one in the minors. So we'll have to see. Are we officially? Is it done?
I think we're done unless there's some big news that happens in the next couple of weeks.
Poppy threw out the first pitch last night.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome to see.
I think that
see
was
him out there.
that was kind of deflection about not,
Not being able to make
it
the
was
playoffs.
candy. It was like giving
Yeah.
a baby candy.
Yeah.
It's not being able to make the playoffs, but also firing the general manager.
Right.
Let's not
Yeah.
talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Big Poppy.
Yeah, let's talk about Big Poppy. So,
So-
yeah, it was great to see him.
All right. NFL just kicked off. I missed football.
Oh, man, yeah.
I missed football.
Me
It's
too.
just it's so much. It's so entertaining spending a weekend watching football
Right.
games.
I miss football so much that I actually watched the Raiders play last night.
I did too.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, it was great.
I watched the Raiders play. I watched the Houston New Orleans game.
Oh,
last
that was
night.
a heck of a
It was
game. What a
great-
game.
It was a
Yep.
great
Yeah,
game.
I watched all that too. So.
And victories, because there's so many few games in a football season, victories mean so much more.
They do.
Where the Red Sox lose, they got
Yeah.
162 games.
Right.
You lose a football game, especially on a last, 55-yard field goal
I
like
know,
New Orleans
I know.
won last night. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
And it's a big deal for the city. It's such an event. And so I really missed it. The Patriots, let's talk about the Patriots.
Okay.
They had a very active week.
They really did.
Besides the cut downs and everything like that, and all the wide receiver drama, they put even more drama on it.
Yeah.
Because a guy that we had talked about,
We did.
Antonio Brown with Helmet Gate and all that other kind of
Yeah.
stuff, and we were pretty hard on him.
We were.
But
Man-
he is now plays for your New England Patriots.
I was going to say he's part of the Patriots, and it's exciting. So, first of all, you think about it. You got Gordon, who's now back,
Yes.
came off his issues,
looked phenomenal. On
absolutely
Sunday.
looked absolutely phenomenal. See that big hit he took, still made that cat. I mean, just looked great. But now you have Antonio Brown, and everyone says in Bill we trust, right? So Bill Belichick is taking a chance. Robert Kraft is taking a chance, and now we have Antonio Brown. What do you see something out there? Is there something special happening?
I was just seeing if our next guest was coming
I
in.
hear-
Sorry,
yeah,
sorry.
That's okay. So what are your thoughts?
So we went from not having anybody for Brady to throw to having arguably the best wide receiver corps.
Too many people to throw to?
Well, breaking news.
Yeah, breaking news,
We,
yeah,
we
let's-
need to have
we
a
should do
breaking
that,
news down.
yeah.
So Demaryius Thomas was just traded to
Yep.
the New York Jets for a 6th-round pick.
Okay.
So he's out of the mix.
Right. So you're gonna have Brown. You got Gordon. You got Edelman.
You got Myers.
Yeah.
You've got
Jacoby Myers finally made some nice catches.
beautiful
the
catch,
other
and
day.
he took the hit.
Yep.
You got the punt returner there, Olszewski.
Yeah. Who broke his nose in the game?
He did. He kept playing.
Yep.
And he kept playing. Getting back to Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
Yes or no? Are you for it or are you against it?
Well, I think I told you in some of our private texts that I'm definitely for it. I'm excited. I think this is great, and I think it's one of those things with the Patriots that they've probably made it pretty clear these are the things you can and can't do, and if he crosses that line, I think he's gone. So I don't think he's necessarily going to hurt the Patriots.
I'm dead set against it, and
Yeah.
I just, for a few reasons. But when you mention that if he crosses that line, they're giving him $9 million.
Yeah, it's $9 million guaranteed.
So
$9 million is nothing for New England, right? For the New England Patriots.
well, it's
He lost half his money, right? He had $30 million.
$30 million. He's down to 9.
He's down to 9. Well, yeah. His contract's $15 million.
Yeah, he can
9
make up
guaranteed.
to 15, but
Yeah.
it's 9. And I think by having that $9 million
Guaranteed.
guaranteed, they're going to give him more than one chance. They're going to give him a lot of chances. And I'm just afraid by what those chances are going to do to the rest of the locker room. Do they need him? Based on what you saw on Sunday night.
Based on what you saw on Sunday, no, they don't need him. I mean, no. I mean, Van Noyes didn't even play defensively.
I know.
So, I mean, do they need him? Probably not. But what if somebody gets injured? What if Edelman goes down? What if Gordon can't keep it together?
What if Brown can't keep it
I
together?
understand that, but I'm just saying these what ifs.
I hear you.
So,
I do hear you.
Why don't you load up on the what ifs so that if you have a what if that doesn't work out, you still have stuff in the tank.
Did they reward somebody, though? Did they reward a guy who is a team obliterator? He really blew up Pittsburgh. He left that place in a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Goes to Oakland, never even steps on the field,
Right.
and that place leaves them in the dumpster fire.
Creates chaos.
And now did they award the way that he attacked the general manager, recorded the coach's conversations,
Right. All of his social media posts.
the social media stuff. I mean, he can't do the social media stuff when he comes to New England.
No.
That's the rule,
Yep,
isn't it?
absolutely.
It's the rule. Is he going to follow the rule? He's never followed the rules before. Is he going to follow the rules this time?
Does he want to win a championship?
Does he want to win a championship more than promote his celebrity? I think
don't know.
that's where the question.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, and I just, for the same types of reason that I didn't like the Red Sox having the highest payroll.
Right.
It's that is it worth it? Is it worth it at the end? Don't you want to have a little bit of the underdog mentality?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's pretty hard for Brady to come out this year and say everybody thinks we suck.
Right.
Because they're legitimately talking about 19-0. Now that Brown's in the mix, they are saying, okay, we're going for it because they kept some of their older players, and that we are going for 19-0.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no underdog this year.
No.
They are going to get, it's going to be everybody's Super Bowl who they play.
Mm-hmm.
When they go down to the Dolphins this week, it's the Dolphins Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
And, I mean, but they are still just one injury away from, 8-8. And we know who that is. And he happens to be 42.
That's right. And, because Stidham's not going to be able to step in and, do that.
So anyway,
all right.
We have a guest.
We do have a guest. So
So-
why don't we pause here, and
Okay.
we're going to bring in Coach Kelly, the girls varsity soccer coach.
Okay, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Mike and the Hoss. We have girls soccer coach for Kingswood, girls varsity soccer coach for Kingswood, Robert Kelly, joining us, Charlie. Coach, welcome.
Thank you very much. Welcome. Thanks for having me.
All right. So, Coach, this is our preview section. We're trying to preview. We know you've had some games already, and I think you've had one game,
3.
3 games.
Yeah,
Oh wow!
yeah.
How's it gone so far?
Lost 2, won 1.
Okay.
We won the first home game last Thursday, which was quite thrilling. So,
Nice. So, you obviously don't have a Wolfeboro accent. What brings you to Kingswood?
Actually, I'm originally from London, England. I married my wife Jessica, year 2000. We met through summer camp.
Okay.
I currently run a summer camp for children with special needs for Easter Seals, New Hampshire, and I've been doing that for 14, 15 years.
Oh, good for you.
That's great.
Yeah.
And what about your soccer background?
Soccer, well, you kind of play soccer before you walk back home, and you just grow up with it. You're playing in the streets, you're playing in the playground, you're playing with kids of all ages, all abilities, and just grow up. It's like your football, I guess, or baseball and that. You just you're immersed in it, and you just sink or swim. So
Nice.
yeah.
Well, welcome.
Thank you very much.
How many years have you been at Kingswood as the head coach?
This is my 3rd year with the girls. I was previously with Campus of the boys. I was assistant boys varsity coach.
Okay.
And yeah, that's it. And previously, I'd coached a lot of U10, U12, a lot of the players in the high school now, Carter Morrissey and Aranellos and all those guys. I coached them, so it's lovely to see them still playing, and
Yeah.
it really gives me a good buzz.
That's great.
See them
You
still-
affiliated with Seacoast United? Is that where you were?
Years
coaching
ago,
with?
I was.
Okay.
Years ago, yeah. When I was up here in Wolfeboro, I coached with them, and it was trying to get the kids to play year-round soccer.
Yeah.
It's a big challenge.
All right, so let's talk about the team.
Okay.
Who are your captains, and what are your strengths, and what are the things that you need to work on?
The 2 captains we have this year, and we set up a program or a facility where the players would apply to be a captain. So there's an application process, and Grace Saunders and Mackenzie Willett applied, and we're delighted to have them as captains. If you know Grace and Mackenzie anyway,
Very well, sure.
they just shout and scream captaincy. They're of that material. So very, very lucky to have them, and I think they're not great just soccer captains, but they're just great people.
Yes.
They're just great, leaders of
Agree with
women
that.
and stuff like that. So I think it's really a good appointment.
And I agree. Good people.
Yeah, yeah.
Grace. I had Grace in school, and I think I had Mackenzie too in school. Just good people.
Yeah, yeah.
Strengths. What do we? Obviously, you got some good leadership there. So.
But I think one of the things that impressed me most about the girls 3 years ago, when we first took it over, was the enthusiasm and the determination, the energy that was there. And if I'm completely honest about it, the first year or so, you feel like you're inheriting somebody else's team and stuff. Then the seniors leave, and so it takes you a year or 2 to get your philosophies and your ideas across, because you're trying to turn this ship.
Right.
Jess played from 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
My wife teaches at Osby Central now, and she come through the whole soccer program and stuff like that, and she said it hasn't changed in all these years and that. So just trying to change that mentality a little bit, and get the girls playing soccer, and just not that it was ever bad, but it seemed like as much as winning is habit forming, so is losing. You know, it's a mentality, and you've got to change that mentality.
Absolutely.
Try and change it, you know, and there's ways you can do it, and that's what we're trying to do. I think the approach we came in with 3 years ago was right across the board. The middle school, the JV, and the varsity is a soccer club. It's a girls' soccer club, and that's what we invited the girls' middle school to our end of season banquet last year, just to make them feel a part of it, you know, and doing more and more with the middle school. And so that the girls can see that it goes from seniors down to the middle school, and just build that culture of you're part of something bigger than you. You know, it's not just about you hitting a ball, it's about being part of something bigger than, which is what soccer's about, you know, in my mind.
Absolutely. What about players to watch this year for the varsity?
Well, I mean, the first one on the team sheet is obviously Sarah Pretnell. She's been playing for many years. One thing you learn about coaching soccer in this area, there's so many mixed abilities. You've got players that play to the level of Sarah, who play for Seacoast and competitive and everything like that, and you get other players that are not so skilled or are just trying for the first time as a varsity or a JV player, you know. So you've got these huge differences, and you're just trying to mould it all and gel it all together, you know, and get a...
Is Sarah senior?
Yes, she's homeschooled, I believe. Okay. But the interesting, neat thing about winning the game Thursday last week was it's not so much that we won, it's the manner in which we won. We scored early in the first half, and they didn't come back to score or threaten, you know, and we just held them. And across the field, even forget Sarah slightly, but across the 11 players, front to back, everybody was doing the jobs and working hard for the team. And so that was really, really pleasing, the manner in which we won, because it shows you it's there.
Yeah.
It's there. So you need the likes of Sarah's and that, but it's not going to win you a game alone. You need the industry, you need the effort, you need the energy.
How are your numbers, Coach, in the whole program, starting from varsity all the way down to the middle school? What are the?
It's a challenge. They're up on what we thought we was going to have last year. You know, at the end of the season, we had like 25 players. We'd go into games with 11 players aside, no substitutes.
Wow.
You know, and we thought we was just going to go for a varsity team this year. But we came back, and there was 35 girls initially that signed up for JV and varsity only.
Wow.
So that was especially pleasing. You know, it means that something's clicking. The girls that could come back came back with a few others. So that was really nice and pleasing to hear.
It sounds like you're building that culture you were talking about.
Trying to, you know, just trying to build this welcoming and inviting culture that people want to be a part of, you know, want to play. You know, as great as the athletics program is in the high school and that, I think if I have one negative towards it is we probably try and offer too much, you know, and there's only so many people to feed off of that.
Sure.
You know, so I think, you know, but
That's an interesting take.
you know,
It is something we haven't talked about.
You know, when you look at the size of the pie is only so big, and you got your big biters and your big hitters, and then it trickles down to the, you know,
There's only
what's
so
left.
many
What's-
athletes.
Exactly,
to go
what's
around.
left, and you know that's fine the way it is, but I think you go south, you know, to clubs that can walk out the door and play competitive soccer year-round competitive soccer.
Yeah.
That's what we're facing. That's the challenge we're facing. 40 players on a team, you know, and they're playing year-round soccer.
Right.
I think that's the challenge that all the sports actually
Definitely,
face.
definitely,
You know,
yeah,
that
definitely. You know.
In more populated areas, there's just the access to everything, to hockey rinks, to baseball fields, to football fields,
Exactly,
and
I
everything,
agree.
golf
Yeah,
courses, and
yeah,
so on. So,
yeah, exactly.
all right. So, Coach, we're about out of time. We do have a tradition, though, that if you make the playoffs, we ask you to come back into
I'd
a
love
little
to. That'd be
playoff
great, yeah,
preview.
that's
So
an incentive.
that's an incentive for you.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Anything else, Charlie?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, Coach, thank you for coming.
Thanks,
Thanks
Coach.
for the invite. Thanks
And
very
we'll
much.
hopefully see you in a few weeks for playoff time.
I hope so, yeah, that'd be great. Thank you very much.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to Mike and the Hoss on Wolfeboro Community Television. Very busy day, Charlie.
Yes, very busy.
I feel like if we were going to have an hour episode, this was the one that we should
This
have
would have been.
done.
We've got lots to talk about
We
and
left-
less than a minute to talk.
And we left a lot on the table.
Yeah,
There's a lot of football that we can still talk about.
definitely.
And a lot of Kingswood sports we can still talk about.
Yeah.
So, checklist. We still need to have Coach Fuller in, Coach Riley in,
Yeah.
and Coach Place in for the volleyball.
And we're going to try to get Coach Gagney in, who's bass fishing.
Bass fishing, that's
Yeah,
gonna
we
be an
don't wanna
interesting
forget
one.
that,
We don't
so.
know a lot about that sport, so
I don't know anything about it. So,
that'll
That'll be
be
great.
a good one to have. All right, so we're going to put a lot of things, we're going to push a lot of stuff to next week. Hopefully we're going to get those coaches in. Hopefully the Patriots are going to be 2-0.
yes.
We are not planning on talking about the Red Sox.
We're not going to talk about the Red Sox unless something major happens.
Something major. Major positive.
Major positive.
Major
Of
positive.
course, major positive.
I'm tired of the Red Sox
No
right
more
now.
negative.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Mike and Austin, Wolfeboro Community Television. Thank you to Allie Champagne for doing a great job today behind the camera.
Thanks, Allie. Hey, go Knights.
Go Knights.